So it says Jessica opened up an apparel shop 5 years ago. In the first year, she made a profit of $3,125. That's her initial condition. And then it says each year after that, her profit was 20% more than the previous year. What's the total profit she earned in 5 years? So in order to get the next thing, remember, if I were to write this in recursive, so there's two things here. We need to figure out how much profit she makes each year, and it increases by a rate of 20%, right? And we know that the initial amount that she started with was 3,125. But we need to do a summation. So if I were to write this this is a geometric sequence. So the function of n is equal to the initial condition times 1 plus the rate raised to the n minus 1. Well, we got to be careful on how we want to count that. So if I want 1 to be 1, yeah, I need to do it this way. Now, if I want to know how much money she made, in other words, so the first, when this equals 1, then I got 3,125 times the quantity 1.2, right? Because we plug in the 0.2 for r, add that to 1, raised to the 1 minus 1, which is 0. That means this whole thing goes to 1, and so my first term is 3,125. I'm saying everything wrong because I'm trying to think while I'm writing stuff down, but basically this is the explicit form for the geometric series. What they're really asking us is what is the summation of all of these. So let me just do a couple. So now the second term using the explicit form would be 3,125 times 1.2 raised to the 2 minus 1. So this is just raised to the first power. So if I plug that in the calculator, I would get 3,125 times 1.2 raised to the 1. Okay, so on the second year, the profit increases by 20%, and it would be 3,750. 3,750. Okay, so now to do the next one, I'm simply going to, on the third year will be the same, except this changes to 2, right? So the third year would be the same, but it changes to 2 because what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 3 minus 1, and I get 4,500. So on that third year, I get 4,500. And so I can let the calculator find all these out for me by going into this y equals and plotting that explicit function. So I say 3,125 times 1.2 raised to the x minus 1. And I hit my table of values. Whoops, what did I do? How did that end up like that? Now if I hit my table of values. So the first term will be 3,100 and let me just take a screenshot of that. So we're looking for terms 1, 2, 3, 4. So the calculator will just crank through and find them all for me. And we're looking for the first 5 years. Right? So then these are the values I get in the calculator. In other words, on the 4th year, the profit will be 5,400, and on the 5th year, the profit will be 6,480. Okay. Now we got to add all that up to figure out what it is. But this is a summation, so we can do this whole thing by just doing the summation of the explicit form by letting n equal. We're going to do 1 to 5, and then we're going to say 3,125 times 1.2 raised to the n minus 1. And you could use x or n, it doesn't matter. But what this will do is it'll go through and calculate all these values and then add them up. So let's do that on the calculator real quick. We're just going to plug that in. So we can get to the summation formula by hitting math, if I remember correctly. I got to, yep, and see where it says summation there. So I'm gonna hit X because there's an X button right here, and it's real easy to do. And I'm gonna go from 1 to 5, and then I'm gonna plug in my explicit formula times 1.2 raised to the X minus 1. And I get 2355. And that is it. That is the actual answer, is this right here.